Four young boys, we estimate between ages of 13, perhaps all the way to 18, find themselves in a strange land. Now, the question is, how would they survive and how would they stay true to their God, but also continue to excel in everything that they do? This is the story really of Daniel. We're going to look at some characteristics that caused them to stand out and what made them desirable to the leader at the time of Babylon. So turn with me to Daniel chapter 1. Let's read from the verse 3. It says, "Then the king instructed Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, to bring some of the children of Israel and some of the king's descendants and some of the nobles, young men in whom there was no blemish, but good-looking, gifted in all wisdom, possessing knowledge, and quick to understand, who had ability to serve in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the language and literature of the Chaldeans." So the first characteristic I want to point out is their youthfulness. They were youthful and purposeful. But you see, their youth was not something that was despised. It was not ignored or dismissed. Instead, it was recognized, valued, and intentionally nurtured. Many young people of today, might be asking the same questions. How do I stand out in the nation, in our city, in our community today? The name Babylon was a city, yes, but it was also, in biblical language, a name that will tend to depict the worldly system. And so, in very much the same way that Daniel and his friends stood out, we can learn lessons from their lives and apply it to our time today. So the Babylonian court demonstrated a clear understanding of how to identify potential in young people and strategically develop it for leadership and service. So this reminds us that youthfulness is not really a weakness. To leaders, kings, nations, young people are an invaluable resource. So if you're a young person, you might be asking yourself, what do I have to offer? And I want to give you some examples. Firstly, passion. Young people tend to have deep passion. When they believe in a cause, they will commit fully to it, inspire others to action. Their conviction often becomes the force that drives meaningful change. I always think about leaders of our nation. Most of our political leaders really started their political life at a very young age. So, similarly, the passion with which you approach life and things can be valuable to your community. Secondly, energy. It's very similar but slightly different. The youth have strength and vitality. This is one of the reasons I believe Africa stands before a great opportunity today. The majority of our population is young. Now, when this energy is rightly directed, it can transform our communities and our nations. And thirdly, a fresh perspective on life and innovation. Young people see the world differently. They approach problems with creativity, courage, and an openness to new ideas. But because they are still being shaped, they are also highly moldable and teachable. Ideal qualities which are necessary for growth and leadership development. So if you're a young person, you want to be teachable. Those who are teachable have the great potential to be molded into awesome leaders that impact the nations. Catalysts for development. Throughout history, young people have stood at the forefront of every major movement: social, political, spiritual, and cultural. Change often begins in the hearts of young people. So whether it's for good or for bad, it is nurtured in the hearts of young people, and they eventually go on to impact their nations. If you're a young person and you're listening to me, you already have the ability. Everything that you're supposed to bring to this generation is embedded in you. God has given you what is required to uplift your community, your nation, and your generation. And if you take a look around you, whether in this nation or the nations around the world, most of the leaders, especially in the political world, began their political lives at a very young age. The question then is not whether you have the potential, but how prepared are you? If the opportunity comes today, how are you preparing yourself? What skills are you developing? What are the talents that God has placed inside of you? Do you know what they are? Have you identified them? And how are you honing these skills? So commit yourself to learn continually. Seek mentors, people who can speak into your life, who are ahead of you and they have the wisdom and the experience, whose guidance can help you discover and refine your gifts, but also help you to deploy them. Their counsel is invaluable. Many of these qualified people, when they make investments in you, they can shape you and shape your future in more ways than you can imagine.